lest we startle them. Is he not a fine beast, Elizabeth? Those who like to tell stories about me say I left Stratford for poaching old Sir Thomas Lucy's deer. Would your granddad do a thing like that? Well, there was a time I was just as nimble as any forest beast. Now, that is true. When I was a mere lad, just out of school, trying not to think too hard about how I might earn my living. And then my old schoolmaster, Mr. Cotton, solved my problem for me.
Will!
Good day to you, sir.
Well, young scholar, have you found any work yet?
I helped my father in his glove mill.
Indeed. Tell me, Will, why doesn't your father go to church?
We're in debt. He's ashamed.
Is that the only reason?
You know, Master, some Catholics would rather pay the fine than worship in a Protestant church.
You're too honest by half, Will, but not stupid. Have you the wit to instruct a wild young gentleman in Latin grammar? I'm to find him a tutor. It would mean leaving home, Will.
To go where, Mr. Cotton?
To Lancashire, where I was born. It's a 4-day journey, Will.
I've never been so far from Stratford.
Yes.
And so we set out together. Mr. Cotton to visit his old home. I to meet my new master.
Tired already, Will?
Aye, and wet. The next inn will be a welcome sight.
Later in our journey, we can hire horses and travel faster.
I have money of my father for 20 miles.
Throats have been cut for less.
Travelling could be more dangerous than I realised. And although I didn't know it then, someone else was beginning a journey towards a terrible end. Across the sea, a Catholic missionary was waiting for a favourable wind to bring him to England. His name was Edmund Campion.
Bless you for my disguise, brother. The English ports are being closely watched. Farewell. Pray I shall not be arrested too soon. And that if I am, I may pass as a jeweller. Although the true treasure I carry is the grace of God.
As we journeyed north, I was glad of Mr. Cotton's company. We travelled through a changing England. Our roads used to lead between abbeys and monasteries. Not 50 years before, they had been the centre of life. Now many were in ruins, changed not by accident, but on purpose.
You say there was a welcome here for travellers once?
Aye, and monks to give comfort to the poor.
Why did the Queen's father order all the religious houses to be destroyed?
They were the power of the Pope in England. King Henry wanted the monks scattered and to have nowhere to come back together again.
But where now can poor vagrants turn for help?
Where indeed, the poor are told to work in their own parishes.
And if there is no work?
Then they must beg and risk being whipped out of town.
I resolved then never to be so foolish as to be poor. The next night, we reached the safety of an inn, where there was bread enough, and beer, and clean linen. I supped alone, Mr. Cotton having met a man he knew at Oxford University.
Are you trustworthy, young Will?
I hope so.
If you should discover the work of a secret society, would you tell anyone?
Is it good work?
Some would say God's work.
Then why must it be secret?
Come, Will, you know as well as I. Catholics in England are forbidden by law to worship in their own way. Their priests are not allowed to say mass or hear confessions. Does that seem fair?
No, sir.
Young Englishmen have been forced abroad to train for the priesthood. My brother Thomas is one, and Edmund Campion, a man we knew at Oxford, is another. Now they are coming back, in secret. But there are spies everywhere. I've just heard that Thomas was arrested as soon as he landed at Dover. I pray that Father Campion won't be caught too.
I had not thought to regain my native land in so secretive a manner.
After 3 nights we arrived in Lancashire on hired horses, and Mr. Cottam told me more about the Jesuit priests who risked their lives by coming to England.
The trouble is, because she's a Protestant, Queen Elizabeth can't bring herself to trust English Catholics. She fears they are more loyal to the Pope in Rome than to the English Queen.
But if she died and Mary Queen of Scots, a Catholic, reigned in a place, then the Jesuits would be made welcome.
Hush, Will. Such words are treason. You'll have us both hanged. Look, Will. What do you see there on that hilltop?
A fine castle, Master.
Aye. Horton Tower. Fine and useless. Built by a man who spoke as you just did. He died abroad in hiding.
Why so, Master?
He was head of the family, but a Catholic. So 10 years ago, he exiled himself to France.
Never to return? A sad man he must have been.
Well, the Queen sent messengers to call him home, but his conscience would not let him. He feared she would have him turn Protestant and claim the Horton property if he refused. So the tower stands empty.
Who's head of the family now?
His brother, my friend Mr. Alexander Horton. He lives but a few miles from here, at the Lear. Come, Will. This empty tower marks our journey's end.
And so we came to the Lear, and I wondered what these proud Hortons would expect of me. But I was proud, too, that Mr. Cottam had trusted me with their secret.
Well met, good sirs. The new master is in the long gallery, playing at 9 pins.
And when I met Mr. Alexander Horton, I vowed never to let him down.
Your turn, Dick.
How many that time?
Not a one, brother.
Then you shall set them close together. I will knock down all 9.
Ah, John! Not too soon. Come, teach this boy a lesson. Dick, you must be the man from Stratford Grammar School, eh?
This is Mr. Alexander Horton, Will.
Well, come here, young sir.
Dick! You've made me miss my aim. Set them up again, Kate. One more try.
By your leave, sir.
What's that?
Where?
It's the ceiling, and a very fine one.
Why, he's but a schoolboy himself.
Safer, though, than any tutor licensed by Protestant bishops.
Aye. Much safer. We dine at 11 and sup at 5. But late arrivals can count on being fed. You'll bless the meat, Master Shakeshaft.
Pro bono cibo ex adolitate bona te deum laudamus. Amen.
Amen. Full 2, I'll bear you company with wine. While you're here, you're to make yourself useful about my household, like Master Gillow. Catholic boys are supposed to have Protestants to instruct them. But in the privacy of our old family chapel, I hope you can turn young Dick into a Catholic scholar, without the world outside this house finding out, huh?
If anyone asks, sir, I am your servant.
You chose well.
You're a musician, Master Gillam.
As a pastime only. Bed. Are you?
I sing a little.
Mr. Horton loves music and dancing. Often Earl of Derby summons him to Latham Castle, where the entertainment is as splendid as any scene at the Queen's Court.
So, What other skills have you?
I was an apprentice to a carpenter. I make cupboards. Candles.
Why so guilty?
So, your nephew. Is he to return from France to reclaim the lands which once belonged to his father?
He has come back, but as a young priest. He is captured and thrown into Salford jail. And they caught your brother too, John.
He is not strong. He may die under torture.
We must pray for them. And that Father Campion will stay free to come among us and ease our minds. Tell me about him.
At Oxford, Edmund Campion was the most brilliant in debate. We marvelled to hear him speak before the Queen.
Must visit us in Lancashire. There's no risk. We'll keep him well hid, eh, Gillam?
Aye, Master.
Father Campion may please and persuade Her Majesty to be less strict with us. And all shall be neighbourly in England after all. My Queen is a powerful piece. And I'll not have her defeated by knight or bishop or a small pawn like the Queen of Scots.
And so began my life with the Horton family. My master was kind, my pupil was unwilling, but as the weeks went by, I learned to like the lad, and I became great friends with Master Gillam.
Have you seen Dick?
Not this morning.
He should be studying at his Latin books.
Perhaps he's gone to Bryn School today. Look what I found. Come out, right.
I know what you're making.
I bet you don't.
I bet I do.
Tell us then.
No.
We'll see about that.
Tell us.
You're building secret hiding places for when the priest comes here.
Who told you that?
I guessed. Can't I help?
Master Gillam can manage, thank you. It's time you did some schoolwork.
As the weather turned wintry, it was easier to persuade Dick to study indoors.
Fidelita artes. You can guess artes.
The arts.
Aye. Music, painting, poetry, the pastimes we enjoy.
Hunting is more exciting. And bear baiting. And hare coursing. And cockfighting.
Do you never feel sorry for the poor suffering creatures?
He means to provoke you, mistress, and start an argument. Emmelet mores.
The arts are soft.
I'm sure your sister can do better.
The arts make us more human.
Nec sinit esse feros?
And forbid us to be cruel.
Good. Well done, Dick.
May I go to exercise my falcon now?
Very well.
He does respect you, Master Shakeshaft. But since he has learned he will one day be head of the Horton family, well, his manner has become lordly. And his falcon will not fly far. Look, it is snowing.
I shall always remember my winter with the Horton family as the household made ready for Christmas. When icicles hang by the wall, and Dick the shepherd blows his nail, and Tom bears logs into the hall, and milk comes frozen home in pail, when blood is nipped and ways be foul, then nightly sings the staring owl, to woo, to wit, to woo, a merry note, while greasy Joan doth keel the pot. I had never known such revelry at Christmas until I worked for the gentry. Alexander Horton engaged a company of travelling players to entertain his household at dinner, between the meat course and dessert. I'd seen play acting before, in Stratford Town Hall when my father was mayor, but now I was older. I longed to take part.
Wake up, Master Shakeshaft.
And then I had an idea to help Master Dick enjoy his lessons.
Can you make music to accompany a play?
After a quart of brown ale, I can do anything.
Then this household shall perform a play in Latin, and Dick shall be the hero.
And who is to pen the text for this marvellous play?
Well, I suppose I can.
All right. And what will it be about?
Dick would see himself as an adventurer, sailing a boundless sea, discovering wild places unimaginable like heroes in an ancient world.
Aye. And home again rich in Spanish gold like Sir Francis Drake.
Even better.
Frater Dumfluby, current. Why does Francis Drake have speaking Latin to the Queen?
Courtiers do on special occasions.
Oh well. Dum montibus umbrae lustribant convexa polistum
Sidera pasquet.
sidera pasquet semper nomequi tuum ladesqui manabant.
Aye. He speaks as a true scholar. What does he say, Kate?
While rivers shall run to ocean, while shadows move in the mountain valleys, while stars feast on the sky, thy name, glory, and honour shall live forever.
Flattering stuff. Did you write it, Will?
Borrowed from Virgil, sir.
No, don't let me interrupt. What's next?
I have my sword ready to cut off your head. But no. Arise, Sir Francis.
Francis Drake. You made a play about murdering pirate. Perhaps you should have cut his head off, Kate.
But sir, did he not sail the Golden Hind all round the world, bringing back vast riches to England?
Stolen from the King of Spain?
But Uncle, Spain is our enemy.
Aye, Drake has seen to that. Unless Her Majesty returns the Spanish treasure, there may be war between England and Spain.
Will she give it back?
Queen Elizabeth? No. And that she's given Francis Drake a knighthood has made the King of Spain even more angry. Oh, well. Perhaps we need not worry. But next time, Shakeshaft, make a play of a less troublesome hero, eh? What is it, Gillum?
Arthur. A message from Sir Thomas Hesketh. He dared not write it down, but I am to tell you that Father Campion is in Yorkshire and will be with us, God willing, by Eastertide.
It's wonderful.
He will come from that direction, I think, Will.
And is he a hero, sir, Father Campion?
Some troublesome heroes are sent to bless us. I sorely fear that Father Campion will be martyred. But we shall welcome his blessing, and in our home protect him.